Okay. Hi everyone. Good afternoon. It's been a week long since the ETF had an exercise section, and we apologize that we haven't, been very consistent with this. We had some back end issues that we had to sort out, but today we're back, and we came with one of our very own community member, software engineer, and entrepreneur. His name is Ozioma. I'll give him the opportunity to introduce himself to everyone while I bring him on stage. But like my name is Gloria, and you know what we do here at the SSS conversation. You can drop in your questions if you have any, and Africa would be obliged to answer. So, yeah, good afternoon, Ozioma.
Hi, good afternoon.
You are very welcome. I think for people who follow us actually has seen your face once, but for the people who might be new here, just do us the honors by introducing yourself so we know what you do and who you are.
Okay. So my name is Ozioma Dike. I'm a engineer and I'm a technical content creator, and I'm an entrepreneur. And I have a passion of building innovative solutions and sharing my knowledge and my experience in software development. I'm also an open source contributor, and so recently I transitioning into an entrepreneur to building solutions, enter into the markets and being all around business aspect of software development.
That's really great. I spoke, like I mentioned that we have spoken to you before, so I think if ever anyone could just go back and watch, they'll find out what you do exactly. But today is the question that probably relates to you more. You mentioned that you're a software engineer and then you're trying to transition into being a founder or let's say an entrepreneur in it.
Yes, yes.
So my first question would be, what is the mind shift like? Initially being a software engineer, you're just, writing codes, creating um, projects and products, right? And this time around, you are getting to the point where you are transitioning into being a founder, owning something. You have to think about the business part of it. You have to think about the marketing part of it. You have to think about a lot of things. So how does that mind shift work? Is it really easy? Just explain in your own terms.
Okay, yeah, okay. Yes, so as a software developer or a software engineer, so one of the key skills that we need in the other side, which is the founder or business side of things, is problem solving. So as a software developer, you are a problem solver. You write code to solve problems and create solutions. As a business, as a founder or a business person, you are also a problem solver, and so you are not necessarily problem solver, but you are creating value creator. I call it value creator. So in software development side is problem solving. In the business side is called value creator. That's how it
Mm,
is. So that's basically one of the key things that you will need in that side. So mind shift, that's one of the mind shifts that you have. Then another thing is you move from writing code to building businesses. So it's
mm,
not necessarily like writing code. So you are before now you're writing code, shipping projects, but this time around you are now into the business things. So you are now marketing those code that you wrote earlier, or people wrote for maybe your team wrote. So you're now in trying to create value around it, make sure that it's what the people wants, because nobody cares about your code. Nobody wants to know if you're using JavaScript or CSS. They just want to,
yeah.
is this solving the problem that they want to that they want. So that's few of the night shifts that I think you might have.
Okay, so on one end, as a software developer, you are solving problems, and on the other end, as a founder, you are bringing value, which is really
Yeah,
good.
exactly. You're
Which
getting
is
value.
really, I think this is, yeah, easy to understand. So, how do you know when? How did you know that it was time for you to transition into being a technical founder? How what was the exact moment that you decided that okay, I think I can dive into the business aspect of this? So initially, I understand that for founders, right, for startups company, you don't have as much people like staff that you're responsible for because I mean you can get them remotely or maybe it can be like a team that you've been working on this project with and everybody has like has something that they're contributing. But either ways, bearing the responsibility of other people, it can be different and it can be weighing compared to you just being a software engineer and writing codes and solving those problems. So how did you get to that point where you say, okay, this is something I think I can handle? And what point do you think if the person is thinking this way, he should really do it?
Okay, so for me personally, so as a software engineer, so I grew to the point where I started leading leading other
Ozema, your
developers.
network is kind
Can you
of
hear me?
breaking, so you're breaking.
Can you hear me now? Am I audible enough? Hello?
Uh, the network is still bad.
I can hear you clearly actually. I don't know why.
Yeah, from your end, I can hear you, but it's not as clear.
Okay, can you hear me now? Is it clear now? Is
I
it clear
think it's
now?
a bit better. Yeah.
Okay. Hold on, let me increase the volume. Is it audible now?
Yeah, it's audible. You can go on.
Okay. All right. So I was saying that as a software as a software engineer, I grew to a point where I I started leading teams. I had people under me, people that I lead, I oversee them. So at that point, I discovered something. I discovered that um, I'm really good at that. I'm really good at managing things, and then I started seeing code beyond writing it, beyond making it work. I started seeing code that's because managing teams gave me the opportunity to manage the team and also interact with our clients because now I'm like the lead developer. So the client comes to me and make their requests. I relate it back to my team. So at that point, I started seeing code beyond beyond just code as a value, as as a value that these people need. So these guys, the clients or the people out there, they don't really know what happens inside. So what they really want is uh, if that feature or that thing is already is working for them. So at that point, that was when I realized that I need to I, I need to transition into this aspect fully. Yeah, because right now we have people writing the codes, and with my experience on that end, I will function very well on this other end, which is the business end of things. Do you Are you my audible enough? Hello, hello, can you hear
Sorry.
me?
Yes, yes,
Am I
I can hear you. You are very audible. I heard you.
okay?
Sorry,
Okay,
I was saying something, but my mic was muted. So
okay.
so your answer actually works. So you were in a position of leadership even in when you were working as a software developer, and then you just realized that okay, you could navigate the business part of it and seeing code just beyond solving a particular problem through software You decided that okay, you think it is time for you to dive into dive into being an entrepreneur with this idea, which works. For some of us that we are in leadership positions in the office and we've been doing that for a very long time, but we still have that fear that the business world might be very critical. It's not really funny, especially with the economic conditions of the country and every other aspect that contributes to the financial sector. What do you how what would you advise somebody like that to do? They have this
Okay,
idea,
so
they want to bring value, but they are in that fix that do I really should I really?
okay, so for me, I don't know for others, but if I can remember, I think back then in secondary school or primary school, I can't remember, but I think when I think there's this subject that we did that time. It's called, I think, business studies or something like that. So that's one of the key
Yeah,
things
business
I
studies.
always remember from. Can you hear me? Hello.
Ozema, we lost you for like a minute. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
I can, but there's a break from your end.
Okay. So
Okay, I think you're
so I was
audible now.
saying,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I was saying that if I can remember from my secondary school days or primary school, I've forgotten at what point, but we we did a subject called business studies. Yes. So in that business studies, they taught us that entrepreneurs are risk takers.
Hmm.
So so if if you don't have if you don't want to take risk, or you're not a risk taker, I don't think you have any business with entrepreneurship. So you are a
Mm,
risk taker. You take the risk. You are in the forefront. Others comes behind you. So that's one of the key things that you need. I didn't mention it earlier, but that's the key things. You need to make up your mind to be a risk taker. So,
mm,
and one thing about risk takers is, if you succeed, you will people people will follow your footstep, and if you fail, people will also follow also learn from you and learn from your mistake. So either way, it's a win-win for people.
yeah, it's always the actually,
So
yeah.
yeah, so as a risk taker, if you take a risk and you succeed, you might even write a book around it, how you manage the risk. If you fail, you can also write a book around it and let people know what is involved. So I think that's one of the main key thing in entrepreneurship. So if you're not
Mm,
a risk taker, you don't have any business there.
okay, that's actually very good. Either way is a win-win. If you fail or you succeed, you are teaching somebody something that they can do differently, which is really
Exactly.
good. Yeah. So, yeah, I just asked a question relating to somebody that is thinking of starting. Now, how do you, and I also mentioned how challenging that the early phase of startup can be. How do you manage the emotional roller coaster that you might be on that during that period? There are days that you are high because you probably spoke to an investor about your project and they are excited about it. Then you wait the next minute, somebody has produced a product for maybe little to no effort that you put up, and they're like, I don't want to sell it, I just want to give it away. And you're like, okay, it means that I need to do an upgrade of mine. So you're already under pressure. Then your investor calls you and like, I don't think I want to sign now. Probably let's think about it later. So there's a lot of roller coaster when it comes to the beginning phase of a startup company before you finally find your feet in the tech ecosystem. How do you manage those emotions in that time? I understand they are taking risks, but I mean, you can also remove the factor that you would be disappointed most of the time. So, how do you manage being in that space?
Okay, so as a founder and or as a founder or entrepreneur, so there's another thing again that differentiates you from maybe your workers or people that are working for you. That is the passion.
Mm,
You get. So as a founder of a startup or a business idea, it's assumed that you understand that business more than any other person working for you. So you have great passion for that business. So
mm,
personally for myself, the stuff I'm working on, I is something that I've been dreaming of, something that I've longed for. So I get that disappointments might come. Like I've dealt with a lot of them. That we reached to a point where we couldn't we couldn't go in any longer. We tried everything and it didn't work, and I was kind of disappointed. I was like, is it the end of the road for me? But then the passion for that thing, to see that thing go live, keeps me going. So I think
mm,
at that point the passion for it. So let's assume you have a passion for let's say you want to solve problem maybe in the transportation industry. You want to see people move from one place to another very easily, and you are building a
mm,
solution around it. You have passion for it. You maybe something that is personal to you. Yeah, you will feel disappointed. You feel disappointed, but that passion will keep on burning. So that passion will
mm,
keep you going when all hope are lost. So it will even get to a point where even some of your team members might want to leave or something like that. But you, as the founder, you still be, you know, let me use the word, you stay tight on your head. Yeah, you take the kite on your head, like so so that's passion. So passion keeps you going. So if you don't have passion for something and you are working on it, you will easily
be-
get disappointed, because once things are not working the way you want it. Okay, for example, uh, let's say I'm employed by an entrepreneur, a founder, as a staff. So once I'm not getting the value, once I'm, because I might not have the same passion you have on that particular
mm,
project, because I'm just a staff. At the end of the month, you pay me, I go. So once I'm not having that thing, I'll just walk away. But you, as the founder, you still be there. You still be there, pushing it, making sure that most times you even add your resources to make sure it goes. So I think passion is the key word there. So once you have a passion
yeah,
for it, yeah, you can deal with any disappointment that comes your way.
yeah, actually, that's a very good answer. Passion is actually the best word for it because if you definitely do not have passion for it, little motivations can weigh you down and you just feel like, I don't think I want to be exhausting myself doing all of this and I'm missing this. Really, a lot of that happens to a lot of startups. You see, at the beginning of the year, you see different companies, and then when you want to rate them within 5 to 3 years, you find out that over 40% of of those companies that started at one point just decided to back out. Now, it's not totally a
Exactly.
bad thing. It's not that it's a bad thing that you back out from a business that you feel like it's not working. It's just sometimes it takes extra motivation for you to actually keep doing something that you're passionate about, which is really good answer. So my next question is now, how do I ask this? Okay, you started you started as a software developer. I'm guessing this is because you have passion for being a tech person, being a software developer. That's why you started. And then when you go into the business part, how do you find the balance between being a technical person and being a founder? Because sometimes it can be challenging just you sitting. I mean, it is different when you're just there creating this product, developing the product, and you being the founder. You have to deal with marketing, you have to deal with funding, and then you have a team also that is probably looking up to you for one thing or the other. So, how do you find this balance in all of that?
Okay, so in that situation, so first thing first, the kind of people you surround yourself with also
Mm,
matters. Uh, so for me personally, because I have experience in software development and also gradually getting more experience on the business aspect of things like being a founder. So
mm,
how I balance it is this. Um, I try to understand each side. I try to give each side like the equal, because none is better than the other. None is more important than the other side. So
mm,
if you don't have a working software, you don't have a business to sell. And if you have a working software, you don't know how to market it. The software is there with you. So I try to give give them their like how will I put it now? Give them their required time and give them their required opportunities, because then I surround myself with a good team, and my team are very good. So what I normally do is I listen to both sides and know when to do when and when to stop this and focus on this, and stop this and focus on this. So that's how I create my own balance.
mm. Actually, yeah, prioritization is like key. Even if you're, even if in our day to day life, sorry, we need to be able to prioritize the things that are important to us, which is really good points that you made. So, with the most important question right now, so for founders, I think, or for technical founders that are just starting, like startups, how would you? The team is your team that you start with is like very crucial because it's like your beginning phase. You need to be sure. You need to yeah, you need to be sure about the people that you're bringing in because those people will either give you strength to want to continue, or they'll give you a reason every day to think that probably you made the wrong choice, right? So how do you pick your team? How does a founder pick the right people that would make a team? What are the characteristics that you look out for when you are picking a teammate as a founder, as a startup founder? Let's use that.
Okay, so there are many criteria in picking
Mm,
a teammate or even a co-founder for yourself. So one of them is someone that sees the same vision that you have, the same passion that you have. You might not really be exactly you might not really be exactly the same passion, but your passion might be greater than his, but at least he understands or she understands the problem you're trying to solve, and also have passion for it. Are you there?
okay. Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. So
Yeah.
can you hear me?
Okay. So yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Can you hear
Yeah.
me too? Okay. Yeah. So I was
Yes,
saying
I can hear you. I can hear you.
there are many criteria. Yeah. So I was saying that there are many criteria when choosing teammates for your as a founder. So
Mm,
one of them is passion for that problem that you're solving. So you don't really want to you don't want to surround yourself with people that don't have the same passion or the same vision as you.
mm,
The example I gave earlier about maybe building a solution around transportation industry. You want to surround yourself with people that also think the same way, like think that transportation industry needs a solution, needs that there's a problem that we need to solve in that area. So if you surround
mm,
yourself with those kind of people, I think you are going to be you're going to achieve a lot of things. As a founder, find people that understand and sees the same thing that you're seeing on that aspect. So once you get those people, they will help you achieve your goal.
mm. That's actually nice points that you made. Nice point that you made. I've spoken to a couple of people before, but pertaining to how, as a founder, choosing your team is very important, and the characteristics that they look out for. And I've heard a lot of people, some people, not a lot, some people say, oh, they have to be an extrovert, and some will be like, oh, they have to be introverted because introverted people think, and extroverted people would be fine for marketing. So everybody have their own spec of people that they are looking forward to. But having someone that shares the same passion as you and actually believes that the problem that you're trying to solve is actually a problem, actually, it's like okay, you and I might be an introvert, you might be an extrovert, but if we both agree that this is a problem and we need to solve it and we have the capacity to solve it, I think that is the best way to stay together as a team, because our passions, both of us, will be fueling each other, like we'll be fueling each other and trying to make things work. Okay, so then my next question will be that, as how do you handle the marketing part of this, being a startup founder? How do you handle the marketing? You you mentioned that if you have your code and you do not market it, you do not sell it, it's just going to be with you. And most times when you're getting this team on board with you, sometimes it's just to make sure that the products that you're selling, if it's a software product, is it's actually going to do the work that you are telling people that it does. So how do you handle people? How do you get it to the face of people to actually buy from you, to actually pay money for the services that you are offering?
Okay, so your question, okay. So for that, like you said, so as a founder, when choosing your team, depending on the stage you are, so you might not necessarily be choosing only software developers or tech people. At some point,
Mm,
you will need other people from other industries to
team
come
members.
in and help in that. Yeah. So that's number one. So number two thing is, as a founder, especially for tech um, products. So
Mm,
during your MVP stage and during your research and during your product evaluation stage, that's one of the great time to also market your idea to people. So while you're
mm,
testing and seeing, adding and removing, so then then you are also marketing. People also know that something like this is in existence. Let me give you an example with I think is it both? Yeah, yeah, both. So they started as Taxify before they
yeah.
evolved into boats. So then they were like, maybe validating their products at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, when they finally transitioned to boats, people are already familiar with them, and it's easier for to sell it to people. So you
Mm,
get, so apart from having marketing team and people in that area in your team, during your product evaluation and the validation process, you also that will also help you create awareness that something like this is in existence or something like this is coming into existence, and also understand your target audience, who exactly you are building for, because you cannot be building for everybody. Yeah, so
yeah.
understand who you are building for. Is it students, working class, adults, middle age, old people, rich people, poor people, middle class? So understand who you are building for, then, and know how to market. So if you understand who you are building for, you will know where to find those people. So if you are building for students or teenagers, you know where to find them. If you are building for middle age, old people, you know where to find them. And if you are building for rich people or middle class or even poor people, you know where to find them. So I think that helps in marketing your idea. Thank you.
Hmm. So marketing, we should start from the basis. I mean, I know for software engineers and any product they want to bring, from the previous conversations that we've had, I now understand the importance of MVP. And I like your example of Spotify and Boots. So I'm guessing when Spotify was in their beginning phase, like the MVP, sorry, Spotify, Taxify, sorry, and Boat, when they're in the
Yes,
beginning
that's
phase,
fine.
everybody already knew them. Yeah, everybody already knew them before they became the boats that now is a known house brand. So, so that actually, well, that's very good advice. So before I ask my last question, it's supposed to be 30 minutes talk so that we do not take much of your time. Is there anything that you want to say to maybe an engineer in the community or outside the community that might be listening that you feel like my questions or our questions might not cover? You can just go on and say that.
Okay, so for software engineers listening to this, and you are you are building, you are writing your codes and every other thing, you're unless maybe you're just doing it for passion, for just to write code. But if you're doing it to solve a problem, to get it out there to for people to use it, and for maybe even to make money. Let me use the word to make money, because at the end of the day, we all want to make money.
Oh,
So
making money, yeah.
so if I yeah, so if you're a software engineer or a developer out there, and you're writing your code. So as you're writing your code, be thinking about the marketing, the business aspect of your code. Think of who are people that put yourself in the shoes of those people. You get think of them, and if you're not willing to take the risk, or if you're not if you don't have the technical knowledge, or you don't want to go in, you don't want to stop yourself with the business aspect of it, partner with somebody that
Mm,
already have that already experience in that area to help you market
mm,
your code, because you don't want to write code, and at the end of the day it's just you and maybe a few of your friends are using it. So you want it to be out there, want people to use your code, want to make money out of it, want to solve a problem, you want to be the next Max Goback and Bill Gates. Yeah, so get, if you can't do it yourself, partner with someone that can do it, and you know
mm.
get it out there. So that's what I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And you just touch up on my next question, which is, what would be your advice to people who are thinking of getting a co-founder? And do you think like it's a necessity when you are planning on, starting into transitioning, sorry, into being an entrepreneur from being an engineer? What do you think is the idea of getting a co-founder?
Okay, so if I understand your question correctly, you want asking like what the criteria in choosing a
Oh,
co-founder.
yes. What would you advise for someone that's looking towards choosing a co-founder for the startup? Do you think it's a necessity? Do you think it's not? And if it is, what should they look out for?
Okay, yeah, I said this earlier on. Passion is number one. So
Mm,
you don't want to have a co-founder that don't share the same passion with you. Yes,
okay.
so that's number one. Then number two is look for a co-founder that complements you where you are lacking. Look for a co-founder that complements you in that area. So you are a tech person, you are a good developer, you are a badass developer. Yeah. So you write code, you are the number one software engineer out there, you're a senior developer. You might not really be a business person. So it's advisable not to choose another software developer like yourself. You two of you will be writing code together. Yeah. So at that point, you might need a business person to help you.
Okay.
So as you're building, writing your wonderful codes, the business guy is also planning on how to market it, how to bring those code to people,
Um,
so that those code can create value for people out there. So that is number one is passion. So we want to get someone that have the same passion with you. The next thing you look out for is someone that complements you where you're lacking. You need someone that will fill in the gap where you're lacking.
mm,
So these two things are one of are the most important thing I think for myself in choosing a co-founder? Apart from maybe financial aspect of it, maybe you might want to get someone that have money or
Ozima,
someone that have
your
connections
network
to.
is your network is
Can
glitchy,
you hear?
so we didn't hear like the last one
Can
minute of things to say.
Okay? Can you hear me now? Am I audible?
Yeah, 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 we can hear you now.
Okay, so I said that the two most important things to look out for when you are choosing a co-founder is the passion for for the problem you are solving. Number two
Mm,
is someone that filling the gap where you are lacking, that complements
mm,
you. Then these are the most important things. Then other things might be maybe someone that maybe has the resources that you need or anything around that. But those two things must go first. So if you're lucky enough to get someone that have the same passion with you and someone that complements or fill in the gap where you're lacking, and that person also have the necessary resources to push your products, that's a win-win for you. Yeah, thank you.
yeah. Okay, so two last questions before we leave. What are the common mistakes that engineers who are transitioning into entrepreneurs or founders make that you feel like it can be avoided? That's one. Yeah, let me just let's ask it before we ask the final question, and then we can call it a day. But this, what are the common mistakes that you think? Okay, these are things that engineers who are transitioning into being a founder would likely make because they have not done it before. They're just transitioning.
Yeah, okay. So one of the mistakes that I think that which I also made during my time, I also made it, and but I've learned from my mistake now, is
Mm.
thinking that your the people you are
Ozima, can you
the
hear
people
me?
you are building for. Yeah, I can hear
Okay,
you. Can
now
you hear
you're
me?
clear. Now you're audible. Yes, we could not hear you for a minute. Yeah.
Okay, you can hear me now, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So one of the common mistakes that's engineers who want to transition to founder make is thinking that their clients or people that want to use their products are also an engineer like them, like they're also a software engineer like them, or understand tech or tech people like them. So that's one of the common mistakes that people make. So but if you understand that people that are using your products might not really be a tech. Am I audible now? Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Can you? Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
okay. Yeah, sorry, there was a network glitch.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can.
Okay. So one of the common mistake is thinking that your consumers or your people that are buying your product are technical people,
Mm,
which is one thing. But if you understand that people that are using your product might not be technical like yourself, you that will help you write the code or build your solution around them. So that solution will not be too technical. You get, so that we software developers, we tend to write codes based on ourselves. We don't think in the
uh,
shoes of our users. So our
Ozima,
users might
network
not be
is
technical
really
person. There
bad,
might be people, random people.
and
So
they're
that's one of the common
struggling
mistakes.
to hear you. Is there a way probably you can disconnect and join back?
Okay, okay, just give me a minute.
Can you hear me now? Your mic is muted, so maybe unmute your mic so we can. No, I cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
There's
Can you hear me
there's
now?
an
Hello.
yeah, I can hear you, but there's an echo that's coming from your background. It's making the noise really.
Oh, can you hear me? Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
yeah, we can hear you. Yeah,
Okay. Am I? Is it okay now?
yeah, you can talk now.
Is it okay now?
Yes, you can talk. You
Okay.
can talk.
So I was saying that one of the common mistakes is thinking that your users are also technical like yourself. So once you understand that your users are not technical, it will help you market and it will help you build your software products
Mm,
in a way that people can use it. You will think in their shoes. You will understand from their own side of things. So that's one of the common mistakes.
okay.
Did you get that?
Um, yeah, I did get that. Really, I think most people forget the fact that if you're developing a product as a software engineer, the people that are going to be using these people are people that probably have not heard about tech in the first place. And maybe it's because of the advancement of technology these days that everybody's using their phone or using their laptop to do one thing or the other. Some engineers assume that everybody is that smart and knowledgeable just because they can use WhatsApp means that they can use the app. So I think that's like a common mistake, yeah, that everybody that engineers forget, which is excellent advice. Thank you very much, Ozioma, for your time. Yeah, here comes my last question. We've had you speak to the community twice, and we're really grateful. We really appreciate you. We appreciate your time and you making efforts to speak to us. What do you think about this section? If we call you again and say, "Oh, Zima, can you come speak to us, maybe at a physical event?" Because we do have a physical event that's coming up by the end of this month. If we say, "Oh, Zima, can you help? Can you come speak at the event alongside other founders?" Right? Is this something you're looking to do?
Yes, absolutely. Once it doesn't clash with any of my schedules, I will be most glad to come and speak.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much once again. Uh, Announcements will be going up in the community on how we are going to be having our hangouts. I think if you have been a long member of the community from last year, you understand that the ETF community hangout is actually now a tradition which we do once in a month at the ending of every month, just a very relaxed atmosphere. We just gather, we meet. As software engineers, we're always working. Let's take our time and breathe small. We need the break. So, yeah, thank you so much for your time. Thank you to everyone that joined. We really appreciate you. If you have questions, you can always drop them in the community. If you feel like the community is too noisy, you can slide into my DM and ask me the question. I will put it up in the community so that people can give you their insights on the questions. And do not forget to, if you're an external person, you're not part of the community, you want to join the community, drop a comment and someone will respond to you. But follow us on all social media platforms at the ETF community, Engineers to Founders community on Instagram, ETF community on Twitter, and you will be able to catch up with updates that comes as they come because a lot of things is happening in the community and we would not want you to miss out. Until on Monday, we are hoping to have another incredible sections like this. I will remain Gloria and have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Thank you, Zoma. Have a lovely weekend. I really appreciate you. Bye.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye.